Bienvenidos and welcome back to Puro Pinche Gol, place where we discuss all things USMNT y la selección mexicana. My name is Adrian. I'm joined once again by my co-host Tocayo, Adrian. Adrian, what's going on, man?
I'll tell you what's going on, dude. Liga MX is about to end, so I'm ready for it.
Ready for a liguilla, some playoffs, some repechaje action?
As much as I did like that kind of format, I do have to say that repechaje is kind of fun, and la liguilla is also kind of fun. So, as much as I dislike it, I always get excited about it.
Yeah, it's always like a two-edged sword, right? Because in Europe you have the oh man, these guys already are 10 points ahead. They won the championship with like 3 weeks left. It's over. But here, the season's ending, and you could still have 8, 12 teams in it. So
Exactly.
pretty exciting. Uh,
hmm
it's annoying and it's exciting at the same time. But anyway, I digress there. Adrian, we're going to be covering, kind of doing a recap of where we are so far in the season for Liga MX, La Clausura. Kind of seeing who's still alive in the possible repechaje, aka play-in weekend. Who's going to qualify automatically for the liguilla, aka playoffs. Who are our favorites, who's that they haven't implemented promotion relegation yet, but they brought back kind of the fine to, like, if you're in the bottom three you're going to get fined. So we'll be discussing that, and just kind of giving our preview of match day 17, the final match day of the regular season for Liga MX. And yeah, man, excited to get into it. So why don't you kind of give us a breakdown as how do things stand in Liga MX right now, going into the final day?
For sure, man. So as of today, which is April 25th when we're recording this, the first four teams are Monterrey, Clubamerica, Guadalajara, and Toluca. Monterrey has 37 points, only lost 3 games throughout the entire season so far. They are playing against Pumas this last on this week 17th. It should be an easy game for them, so they should be reaching 40 points and joining that selective group of Mexican teams that have reached 40 points or more in since the inception of torneos cortos. I think the team with the highest record is America with 43 or 44, something like that. Um,
Dang.
but yeah, not too shabby, And it's interesting to see Chivas in third place. It's been a while since we've seen Chivas up
That
there
high.
in
Yeah.
the in the table. I think for the last 6 years or so, their average was ninth place, so almost making it to repechaje. But man, I mean, they've been playing all right. I'm not gonna lie. El Profe Paunovic has proven to be an effective coach. So it's a good opportunity or a good example of, if you bring someone from Europe, not all it's not always guaranteed that it's going to be a good deal, but if you take your time and find someone who might fit your style and understands your philosophy, then it will be a good fit. Let's see if it makes it all the way to the final and he lasts after this season. Other than that, we have the 8 that will compete for repechaje. As of today, we have Pachuca on 5th, León on 6th, Tigres 7th, Cruz Azul 8th, Atlas 9, Querétaro 10, and hold that thought over there. Santos Laguna 11th, and Pumas on 12th. I think at this point in time, between the 5th and the 7th, they're all also technically, mathematically, also qualified to repechaje. There's no way that Pachuca, León, Tigres can get bumped down and not play
Yeah.
repechaje. Even if Cruz Azul wins, or if Atlas wins, or Querétaro, Santos, they're not going to trump them. But if Tigres wins and Pachuca loses by, I think, a factor, maybe 2 goals or 1 goal, Tigres will move all the way to the 5th place. But as of right now, those 3 teams will essentially remain the same. If they win or tie their game.
I mean, I think it's important to note that if Pachuca or León win and Toluca lose, they could jump into that last fourth spot that automatically
Yes.
qualifies for Liguilla.
Uh-huh.
Tigres won't, but yeah, you're right. If 5, 6, 7, no matter what happens to them, if they lose, they're staying in those 5, 6, 7 positions.
Exactly. So they're playing repechaje at home. which
Yeah.
is, I guess, it's a slight advantage because you're going to liguilla and then you don't get too close at your house, so at home.
Yeah. And it's pretty much
So
13 through 18 here are pretty much, I mean, San Luis, who's in 13, 14, Puebla, and 15, Club Tijuana, they're kind of still alive, right? They just need some results
yeah,
to go their way. And
exactly like
obviously, 7, 16, 17, 18 are completely out of it. Sorry, go for it.
yes, unfortunately for them. But yeah, if if everything aligns and there's a combination of results, you can see the likes of San Luis, Puebla, or Tijuana making it to el repechaje and having a chance to become the champion of Clausura 2023. Which, man, come on, dude. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah, I love it, man.
How a freaking team that makes 21 points can become the champion when you have someone like Monterrey who's making 40, right, in 6 months. But I digress. This is not the pot for that.
One day we'll have an episode where we discuss how many times that's occurred when like
Yeah.
somebody is like come in at like 13th, 14th, and then the match day 16 and somehow wins it. But not today. So what are your critical matches for this week 17? Which ones are the ones to look for? Obviously, Monterrey Pumas, it's a wash. You know, no matter what happens there, Monterrey is top of the table. And
Yeah.
what are we look? What are some important ones here? I'm guessing Leon Tigres is a really important one.
Definitely the Lone Tigres, and that's the last game of the regular season for Clausura 2023. I would say Toluca Necaxa. Necaxa has nothing to, d- get out of it, but Toluca, if they lose or tie, and there's a combination of results, they can go from the fourth and qualifying directly to La Liguilla into repechaje. So that will be a good one. I'll also say Pachuca against Querétaro, just because Pachuca still has a chance to move up
Mhm.
on the ladder. Um, and then of course, I guess a the Cruz Azul and Santos game is also interesting because they are right now primed to be at el repechaje. But if there's a combination of results and uh, and Santos wins, and Querétaro loses, Atlas loses, they can go all the way from the 11th to the actual 8th. So there's still a lot of results combinations that you can play with and have a completely different repechaje match alignment if things pan out well. So as much as I want to say, hey, it's only a handful, maybe 2 or 3 games that you ought to watch on Liga MX. I tell you like 3 or 5, man, already. So half of the week 17 matches are important, and I guess this is the reason why we have repechaje and liguilla is because things still remain interesting until the last week of the regular season.
Yes, man. Yes, sir, man. How for everybody that doesn't really get into Liga MX or is the first time watching it, can you explain how repechaje works? It's a one game, one and done, and then you go into a after repechaje. It's a liguilla starts, and it's a home and away series where the better team plays home second leg. Correct?
That is precisely what you said. I mean, I normally associate it like to the NFL, right? If you're an NFL fan, there's the regular season, then you have postseason. When postseason you have your wildcard games. Repechaje is essentially a wildcard game where the fifth place all the way to the 12th place, have a one game knockout stage where whoever wins gets to move on to the playoffs. As you said, uh, it's a one leg match. Whoever wins makes it to the next stage. I think there's no extra time in here. It's if they tie, and I don't think there's home or away goals. I think if they tie, they go directly to penalty shootout, because we have to have a winner, and it's only 90 minutes. So after that, we go to liguilla, and that's regular quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final 2 leg games. On La Liguilla, though, while they don't have away goals as an advantage, whoever ends the season at the highest rank or position in the table gets to move on. So, for example, if Monterrey plays against whoever classifies as the last in points, and Monterrey tie both games, they will move on to the next stage because of them being the first place throughout the regular season. So That's those are the perks of finishing, on the top four,
Higher.
that you
Mhm.
can move on without actually winning a match during liguilla. And the final doesn't have this specific rule. The final is we need to have a winner. We'll go to extra time if needed, and then penalty shootouts if things remain tied.
Cool, man. As we were going through the table earlier in this episode, you kind of highlighted one of the teams that's still in the hunt for repechaje, Los Gallos Blancos de Querétaro. Um, what specifically makes their situation interesting and intriguing here? In that, they're still alive in the table, at the same time they're really not.
So this is what makes Liga MX unique, my man. Uh, So Liga MX for the last few years have removed the pro relegation status, right? And at some point in time, they were charging a fee to those three teams that ended the year, or I guess the year, the football year, on the last three uh, positions of the table, right? So 16, 17, and 18th. And I think I don't know, not so long ago they removed that specific fee for being the last team of the league, but they brought it back for this year, and apparently they're gearing up to bring back promotion and relegation. Uh, but Querétaro is in a very weird spot because right now they are 10th in the table. They are bound to play repechaje just based on the table, but because on the relegation coefficient, or la tabla de cociente that we call it, this is the table that Liga MX uses to determine who gets relegated into Liga de Expansión, and it's a combination of the last, if I'm not mistaken, 5 seasons back to back, and so it's the total amount of points divided by the number of games, and that will give you a coefficient, and whoever has the lowest coefficient gets relegated, or in this case, he gets fined. Uh, Gallos Blancos, it's sitting at the last position of the tabla de cociente. They are 18th on that table with 0.94 uh, coefficient. So this means that even though they are 10th right now on the table, they will get fined. And on top of that, they get eliminated from el repechaje. And
Jeez.
they just get disqualified and the positions move up. So in this case, Santos will be now 10th, Pumas will be 11th, and San Luis, who currently right now is sitting at 13th, will be the 12th uh, place on the table. So if things keep on going the same way they're going right now, we will have San Luis instead of Querétaro on el repechaje. No matter how no matter if Querétaro wins or they tie or whatever the case may be, they're not going to be in repechaje.
Jeez, what a mess, man. That whole coefficient always boggles my mind how it's done. Such a
It's
messy way of doing that. But
mhm,
interesting, man. So summary, Liguilla bound as of right now. We're thinking Monterrey, America, Guadalajara, Toluca, and we still
mhm,
have a lot to in that repechaje hunt. Adrian,
yes.
it's been a while since we've seen a Mexicano be the top scorer of Liga MX. Um, what has Henry Martin done so well this season to get that accolade? And I think not only we were talking is he top scorer, he might actually be the top assist contributor like this season as well. So why don't we go through the goleadores, how he's done, and just kind of you know praise Henry Martin for being one of the first Mexicans to do it again in what 7-8 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, Henry Martin, we've been saying this for a while on a few of our episodes, right? My guy is on fire. He is, great form. So far this season, just counting the clausura, he has scored 14 goals. It's been a while since I've seen that many goals in one season. And then it's been at least 5 years since the last time we saw a Mexican striker being the top scorer in Liga MX. So all kudos to Henry Martin. We still have one match away for him to be the top scorer. Julian Quinones is second with 12 goals, and Atlas is playing against San Luis. So there's still a slight chance that Julian Quiñones can, tie Henry Martin as the top scorer, or even surpass him depending on how many goals he makes, and if Henry is unable to score against Juarez. So in third place we have Rogelio Funes Mori with 9 goals, and fourth place we have Juan Ignacio Dineno with 8th, and then tie on fifth we have Carlos El Cocolizo Gonzalez and Andre Pierre Gignac with 7 goals. So honestly, the race is against it's between Julian Quiñones and Henry Martin.
Yeah.
There's Funes Mori has to score 5 to 6 goals, and I don't think that's going to happen with with Pumas. And so yeah, man, I'm trying to find specifically the assists for this for this tournament, but I know year wise, counting this clausura and last year's apertura, Henry Martin has scored 27 goals and has 11 assists. So he is not only the top scorer for the year, he's also the top assister of the year. So, I know there's a lot of people who, and me, I include myself, that are hashtag Team Bebote and would like to see him as the starting striker for Mexico, but Henry Martin is not making it easy for him.
Yeah, no, man. It's cool to see a player that's playing Liga MX kind of have the be on the A team, selección mexicana, and be
Yeah.
in contention for being the starting number 9. It's cool, but at the same time, you're like, crap. I mean, what are the European guys doing? Um,
I know.
but Adrian, as we wrap this up, man, you know, what are your predictions for match day 17? Do you see many changes happening here in the table based off the matches you're seeing for match day 17? Are we going to see Toluca bottle it and get out of the top 4 spot? Are we going to see Leon Pachuca maybe get in there, or what are you thinking here? Any surprise?
I think there's a slight chance that Toluca comes down and Pachuca goes up, just because of the matches that they're gonna have. I I I I don't think there's gonna be a lot of changes in here. I think pretty much everything's gonna stay the same. I think Tigres gonna tie. I don't think they're gonna win, especially since they have a match today against Leon in la semifinal de la CONCACHAFA, and then they have the second leg of that semifinal a couple of days after Sunday. So I don't. I think both Tigres and Leon are going to just save their players for this week 17 and deal with el repechaje later on. I don't. I don't really anticipate any big changes, honestly. Cruz Azul is playing against Santos Laguna, so that could be the only changes that I see maybe in repechaje. Cruz Azul dropping points and Santos Laguna winning, but Santos just fired their coach, so I don't know, man. We'll see. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a big changes, but stay tuned. You'll never know with Liga MX.
Yeah, we're about to enter the funnest part of Liga MX, so make sure you guys are watching definitely, and make sure y'all stick here with PPG because we're going to be covering el repechaje,
Mm-hmm.
liguilla, la final, everything here for Liga MX as Clausura 2023 winds down. Adrian, as we kind of wind down here in our episode, man, where can our listeners find us?
Man, they can find us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notifications. They can also find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever they get their podcast on. Last but not least, they can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Puro Pinche Gol.
Cool. Yeah, make sure to follow us on your preferred social media platform choice. And make sure you guys leave a comment down below in the comment sections. Who do you guys got sneaking into repechaje? Who are y'all's favorites for Liguilla to be champion here at the end of Liga MX? Who are y'all's kind of dark horse here thinking can do some damage in the playoffs? Definitely like to hear from you guys and like to interact with you guys in the comments. So, Adrian, guess next time we'll be talking about Liga MX will be after match day 17 concludes, and we'll be seeing who's going to be uh, playing here in repechaje, man. So I'll see you in the next one, brother.
Take it easy, my friend.
See you, bro.